Hi everybody, welcome to our Instagram live today. I'm Eleanor, the social media manager at Moms Meet. So I'm going to give Gladskin just a second to join us. Let me see if I can add them on here. All right, invite to join Gladskin US. All right. So I just invited them to join, so hopefully they hop on in a minute, but so you guys know. Hello, there we go, perfect. Hi.
Hello. Hello, hello.
So I was just about to introduce you. So this is Skylar Stein. He is the president of Gladskin. So we're gonna be talking about all things skincare, microbiome, all of that kind of stuff. So we're super excited to have you on with us today. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me here. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, of course. So for anyone who isn't familiar with Moms Meet, just in case we have so many people from Gladskin hopping on, you can head over to momsmeet.com to learn more about us, sign up to get free products, all of that. Definitely a really awesome opportunity. And you get to join events like this. So you can head over to the link in our bio to learn more. And then today's event is brought to you by Gladskin. And that's why we have the wonderful president with us today. So we've got some awesome prizes per usual. So it's going to be 3 lucky winners are getting the Gladskin Eczema Cream and Body Wash. So Skylar, can you tell us a little more about what those are?
Sure. So we have products, 2 products in there that go together really, really well. One of them is our hero product, which is the Eczema Cream, which is formulated with Microbalance, which is a smart protein that helps to rebalance the skin microbiome and help people heal from eczema. And in addition, we have a body wash that's super simple, designed specifically for people with eczema-prone skin. Only has 4 ingredients, so it's as gentle as it can possibly be while also being moisturizing, while also cleansing. So the 2 of them, and it also respects your skin microbiome, which we'll get into later. But long story short, the 2 of them go really well together. They're great products, safe for infants. 3 months and up, also great for adults to use. So that's the long story short on those 2 products.
Awesome. Yeah. So 3 lucky winners are going to be getting those. So what you're going to do is once this live is over, we're going to be posting this on our Instagram TV, which will also show up as a feed post. So you want to comment on that and that'll be your entry to win. So we want to know though in the comments there, what do you guys struggle with dry skin and stuff like that in the winter? So I always have dry skin in the winter, and I know that this is going to be something that I could really use. So definitely want to take advantage of that. Give it a comment. I guess we can just jump right into our conversation then. So I think something we can all agree on is skincare and moisturizing are super important, not just during the winter, but all the time. And one of the things I keep hearing about skincare, specifically more recently, is the skin microbiome, which I'll admit I don't really know that much about. I hear it thrown around and like, yeah, take care of my skin, but I think it's a little bit more than that. So can you tell us kind of what the skin microbiome is?
Absolutely, and it is a mouthful. You can think of your so just like your gut, we all know that your gut needs a healthy balance of bacteria, of good bacteria to be healthy, to work properly. We all know that. That's why probiotics exist and other things like that. Less people know that your skin actually works the same way as your gut, and it also needs a healthy balance of bacteria to be healthy. And this is relatively new science that we're learning. Over the years, we've always been trained that we need to sterilize our skin and make it as clean as possible. But by doing that, we sometimes remove the healthy bacteria, which are our natural protectors that produce all the vitamins, nutrients, moisturizing factors that our skin needs to be naturally healthy. So if you take care of your microbiome, a lot of the skincare that you need can be provided by it naturally.
Oh, that's fascinating. Wow, I would never have even thought about that. I mean, yeah, you talk about like cleaning our skin. It's always like you got to scrub your hands off and like all that sort of stuff. But it's really important to know that like you should be thinking about it a little bit more and not just trying to strip everything off of your skin. So how does, go ahead.
One thing I would love to add there. You can think of your skin microbiome almost like a rainforest, where there's a lot of different types of plants and animals and trees, all living together in this really nice harmony. They support each other. There's symbiotic relationships between them. And if there's a weed growing and you just decide, okay, we need to get rid of that weed, which could be seen as like a bad bacteria, the way it's historically been done is let's burn down the whole rainforest. Let's get rid of everything, including the good stuff, to make sure we're getting rid of the bad. And now we're really entering this new phase of skincare where we realize there's a smarter way to get rid of those weeds, and we can just weed out those problem-causing ones while protecting all of the biodiversity that exists there. And so I think that's kind of like a mental shift we need to be making in terms of how we think about our own skin.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And that kind of actually leads right into my next question, kind of talking about, biodiversity. I know that's something that is a word thrown around with, rainforest and stuff like that, of how it keeps it healthy. But so how is our skin microbiome able to keep us healthy now? Is it because of that biodiversity or?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, your skin, all of our skin naturally is inhabited by bacteria. Even though we shower even though if we shower in the morning, there are bacteria that live on our skin, and the vast majority of them are actually really healthy for us. And we need them there, and we want them there. You can think of each type of good bacteria as like a little chemical factory where they produce all the nutrients and vitamins and moisture that our skin needs to be healthy naturally. So if we completely over scrub ourselves, use really harsh products that clean those, that can lead to this dryness that happens. It can lead to other sorts of skin problems. And if you are experiencing dryness, itchiness, irritation, inflammation in your skin, it's a really good signal that more likely than not, you probably have a skin microbiome imbalance.
Interesting. Yeah, that's really fascinating. I mean, bacteria do so many amazing things for us. And I know growing up, it's always like, oh, bacteria, bad, scary. Like, you need to get rid of it. But like, as an adult now, it's like, oh my gosh, we need this bacteria. And like, I feel like saying bacteria in the skin might be freaky to some people because it's like, oh my gosh, like scrub, like you're saying, like, we got to get rid of some of it. But like, I feel like it's such an important thing to know this, because then you're not going to be damaging your skin or trying to like overwash or scrub. I know I like always used to be, I'm not really a germaphobe, but like a little stressed about stuff. So I would literally scrub my hands, which probably didn't do anything good for me in the long run. So, but being able to take care of those bacteria, especially I know with our gut, we talk about a lot with probiotics and prebiotics and stuff. So what are some of the things with our skin microbiome that we need to keep those bacteria healthy?
Mm-hmm. So to summarize it all, I would say less is more. Mm-hmm. Keep it simple. Use as few products as you really need, kind of like the minimum effective dose in terms of skincare products. Use products with as few ingredients as possible. Mm-hmm. Because the less ingredients there are in there, the less likely there's something in there that really will disrupt your skin microbiome, that less likely to hurt the good bacteria that live there, which allow that bacteria to thrive and do what it naturally wants to do. Mm-hmm. Humans existed for millions of years without all these fancy skincare products.
True.
And now that we have all of these new fancy skincare products, we also have more skin problems than we ever have had in history. So it's really about doing less, keeping it simple, is really the way to healthy skin.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. It's like, yeah, we humans have been around for thousands of years, and we didn't have all the fancy things at one point. So it's kind of interesting to think about, but the less is more. I have to remember that too, because I know I've probably got a cabinet full of products that I don't really use, but like we're sold all this stuff that's like, you need to make sure you're doing all this.
Absolutely. If anyone looks on the back of their, I think few people do this, more and more people are doing this, is looking at the back of the bottle and what's actually in the products you're using. There's usually a list of 20 to 50 ingredients in most skincare products. Gladskin takes a completely different approach where, for example, in our body wash, there's only 4 ingredients. It's the bare minimum of what you need to cleanse, keep your skin happy, moisturize, and go on with your day.
Wow. Yeah, that's actually an impressive comparison there. Are there any ingredients we should look out for when we start checking the backs of our bottles? I know there might be some stuff in there I should probably avoid.
Absolutely. So the biggest problem causers that are most frequent in skincare products, the first one is fragrances. And they can come under different names on the back of the label. Sometimes it will just say fragrance. Sometimes they can be hidden under a long, scary chemical name. But those fragrances are in there to make the process of using the products enjoyable. They are not in there to keep your skin healthy. And I think if you're using skincare products, you should do them for skin health, as opposed to, right, it may be enjoyable for the 15 seconds that you're applying the product, and then you have dry, itchy skin the next 24 hours because you put these unnecessary ingredients in your product.
Yeah. So outside of just skincare, are there things that we can be doing, generally speaking, to keep our skin microbiome healthy?
Absolutely. A lot of things relate, first and foremost, I think where you can have the biggest impact is the direct products you're applying to your skin. But funny enough, all the things we know that we need, that are good for us, that we need to be healthy, are also things that happen to be good for our microbiomes, whether that's in our gut or on our skin.
Okay.
So, healthy diet, sleep, exercise, mindfulness, all of these things can really contribute to a healthy microbiome. It's actually interesting. There were studies done showing that stressed out mice have different types of microbiomes than mice that don't have stress and anxiety types of symptoms. So it's really this dual, it's all very much directly connected.
Yeah. I feel like that's something too. It's just like those principles of like healthy living, of like eating healthy and being not as stressed about stuff. I feel it's so crazy how everything really is all connected. So I think that's something to kind of, one of the take homes here too, is like healthy living is super important, guys. So I know we've talked a lot about the skin microbiome, but I do want to talk a little bit about eczema before we jump into some more questions about Gladskin. So can you just give us a quick little overview of what kind of eczema is, and then how we can kind of be aware of like when we start to get eczema and that sort of thing?
Yep. So eczema is a skin condition more common in kids than adults, but adults can have it too. There's over 30 million Americans experience eczema at some point in their lifetime. That's about 10% of Americans, and up to 20% of children experience eczema. It's characterized by really dry skin. The itch is the worst part about it. It's this deep, incessant itching that you can't stop scratching. It can affect your sleep schedule, keep you up, keep kids up at night, which they're in effect keep the parents up at night. And it doesn't stop at the skin level. It really can hold a real emotional burden for the people that have it. It can look like a red rash, so it can be embarrassing to wear shorts or swimsuits in the summer times with. There's historically been only a few options in terms of how to manage it, which have either been just like basic moisturizers, which are fragrance-free, simple moisturizers that just help with the dryness part, or if that's not enough, then people typically upgrade to stronger steroid creams, which can have implications if you overuse them for too long, and your skin can become dependent on them.
Yeah, I'm seeing some comments come in that's talking about like how a woman's daughter has it, she has it. So I feel like it's really something that's super widely impacting everyone. And I know October is Eczema Awareness Month, so it's also like a great time of year, as it were, to talk about that. But also I know fall and like winter with the dry air can really affect it. So I'm so glad that we get to kind of talk more about this now. But I also want to know, before we get into more questions about Gladskin, a little bit about you and why you decided to work with Gladskin and start this, and kind of what your journey was to where you are now with Gladskin.
Yeah, thanks for asking. It was quite a journey in terms of how I ended up here, but it had to do with a health journey of my own, where I had to take antibiotics for a really long period, many different antibiotics for months and months on end. And through that process, I was doing research on my own about what are the implications of taking a lot of antibiotics. And through that process, I discovered the microbiome, all the good and bad bacteria that live in and on your gut. And I totally nerded out, started reading every research paper I could, started meeting scientists. I live in San Diego, over at UCSD and Scripps and the Craig Venter Institute, to really understand what the implications these antibiotics were having on me and what the potential long-term consequences were. And actually did a year-long study on myself, testing different probiotics, diets, supplements, to what helped my microbiome recover. And through that process, I decided I really wanted to dedicate the next chapter of my career to helping use microbiome science to help people improve their health. So I worked at a venture capital firm, started by some of the founders of Twitter, to look at opportunities to invest in the microbiome, to commercialize microbiome science to improve human health. And through that process, I discovered Gladskin, was blown away by their science, the success stories, the testimonials, and decided to join them and bring the brand, which was only available in Europe, and launch it into the US and make all those products available to everyone in the US.
Wow, that's amazing. That's like such an interesting story too, with like doing the research on yourself and trying all stuff. So you really know what it's like and what people are going through and why this is so important.
I went deep. I get it. The struggle is real, but there are solutions out there, thanks to kind of the latest and greatest science that weren't around, even a decade ago. So it's a really exciting time for people who are experiencing problems with skincare, which is more likely than not due to an imbalanced microbiome.
Fascinating. Yeah. I mean, I'm so glad we get to have this conversation. I feel like this is so eye-opening for me, but then all their moms tuning in too. So Gladskin, obviously you were super attracted to this company. So can you kind of tell us a little bit more about what sets Gladskin apart?
Great. So Gladskin, Gladskin's a brand that launched in Europe, has products for people with eczema, acne, and rosacea. And what really sets Gladskin apart is our microbalance smart protein ingredient. It's a patented ingredient. You won't find it in other products in the US. And it really works by actively balancing the skin microbiome back to its naturally healthy state. So it's very much an active product that works to rebalance that skin microbiome while also moisturizing. And it's really a new category of skincare and a really new way to think about skincare.
Yeah. So is that part of the whole line or just the eczema cream? And then can you just tell us a little bit more about the eczema cream, since eczema?
Yep. So the eczema cream, our eczema cream, it is a very, as basic as possible, fragrance-free, preservative-free, really nice feeling moisturizer that it kind of free of all the ingredients you don't want, steroid-free, etc. And then it also has the added benefit of this microbalance ingredient that's blended in there that actively works to keep the microbiome balanced. So it's really doing three things all at once, all packaged into one really simple product. So that's the hero eczema cream. We also have the body wash that pairs really well with it. That only has a couple of ingredients and is really designed to respect the balance that is created by the eczema cream. If you look at many body washes on the market, as I mentioned before, there's typically 25 to 50 ingredients on the back, many of them which are known problems for the skin microbiome. So by pairing those two together, the eczema cream will restore and repair the microbiome, and the body wash will make sure you're not messing up the investment you just made into your healthy skin.
Yeah. And so you mentioned steroid free. So can you kind of tell us a little bit more about why that's important?
Absolutely. We like, typically in eczema, the way kind of like the process works is you have dry, itchy skin. You might have some dry, itchy skin. You might go to a doctor and they'll tell you have eczema, and you first start with just a basic moisturizer. If that doesn't do the trick, which it doesn't for most people, sometimes it provides a little bit of initial relief and then it just comes right back. And it's not because it's not really getting to the root of the problem. All it is kind of putting out one of the, temporarily putting out one of the symptoms. If that doesn't work, typically the doctor will say, okay, now let's put you on a steroid cream, which also is, science shows that they work in the short term. They definitely do bring down severity, but they are not designed to be used over the long term. And eczema is a long-term condition.
Yeah.
So there's a mismatch right now between the treatment options available, and the length, the chronicity, or how chronic or how long people have the condition for. So before diving, definitely do whatever your doctor recommends, but we feel that Gladskin is a really great step for people who feel like they've tried so many different products that haven't worked successfully, which most of our customers have tried over 10 products for eczema before finding Gladskin. And it really, we like talking about that it's smarter and not stronger. It's not that you need a stronger and stronger steroid to get there, because it works on the bacteria and not on our immune system. It's safe to put on an infant's eyelids, for example, because it doesn't have any toxic ingredients in it that can be absorbed into the skin and cause problems.
Yeah, that's really good to know. And I just you said 3 months and older, right, for the age group?
Yep.
That's awesome too, because I know, just I can't imagine as a baby with eczema or something, and babies don't even have that kind of motor control where they can itch. That must be just so uncomfortable. So it's amazing that there's a product out there that they can use, and you don't have to be worried about some of the other stuff that might be going on in other creams. But can people who don't have eczema use Gladskin products as well?
Absolutely, because there isn't this issue with needing a stronger and stronger product. The product is safe for everyone to use. I don't have eczema, and I use it on I use it from time to time. It's a really nice moisturizing cream. And if your skin is dry or has even a bit of itchiness and it's not full-blown eczema, it's more likely than not there is something going on with your skin microbiome. So there's no safety concerns with using it, even though it has eczema on the label. But we've done that to because those are the people who we can help the most. And eczema is really, we see it really as a continuum, just from dry itch, a little bit of dry skin to a little bit of itchiness to more inflammation around it. It's not as binary as many people consider it.
Yeah, I mean, that's great too, because I personally don't have eczema either, but I do get the dry patches of skin on my hands and my elbows and stuff during the winter. And like you were saying, it's probably because there's an imbalance or something going on, and even just dry skin generally can just pop up. So I feel like this is perfect for this time of year. If you don't have eczema too, you can get yourself these products to really take care of your skin. And also, you talk about putting gloves on at night with moisturizer under. I feel like this is a great option for that too, because you're not putting those other things I think you said preservatives and fragrances on your body. So I think this is a perfect product for this time of year, and for obviously all year round if you have eczema or have other skin conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with little kids, their skin is they have less layers of skin, and their skin is so much thinner that ingredients in skincare can absorb in at much higher rates than they do with adults. So it's super, super important for children. The fact that we are preservative free and fragrance free, really, it has all the things your skin needs for health and none of the things that it doesn't. So that's really our overall philosophy. Less is more. Be as conscious as possible. Each ingredient in there really needs a real reason for why it's in there.
Yeah. And so can you use Gladskin with other products? Say if you're using either another type of eczema cream or other just general skincare products, does it work well with other products?
We recommend using Gladskin with the kind of other Gladskin products that we know are specifically formulated to respect the skin microbiome. But that being said, if you do really have other products you need or want to use, we recommend using the Eczema Cream, waiting 5 minutes before you apply other products so the microbiome balance can really do its work, which it does in those first 5 minutes. And then you can go and apply other products. We just recommend to look out for preservative fragrances, anything that may really disrupt your skin microbiome when you're using those other products.
Yeah, that's great to know. Yeah, I definitely, the 5 minute period, it's fascinating that it works that quickly too. That's actually really cool. You're not having to sit there for like 3 hours waiting for it to soak in.
And it's a really nice moisturizer. A lot of eczema products are these really thick ointments that sit on your skin, are thick and stain your clothes. It's you feel it and you're like, wow, this is a really, really nice product. And that's before you're really even experiencing the benefit of the microbiome balance that's in there.
Yeah. So I know we've had an amazing conversation, and I want to make sure that our moms get the discount code for you guys, because this is the perfect time of year to go stock up. So Glad Mom 10 is going to save you 10% off your order. So I'm going to be putting that in the description of this video later. So don't worry if you didn't catch that, it'll be available for you. But I'm going to say it one more time, Glad Mom 10, one word all together. 10% off your order. Go stock up on some of these amazing products, because this is definitely something I know I need. And I'm sure all of us can use a little extra skin and microbiome support. I'm not going to be saying that from now. I'm going to be like, oh, my skin microbiome. But thank you so much for joining us today on this Instagram Live. I know this is really eye-opening for me, and I saw a lot of comments coming in from our moms about this. So it was really great having you on today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I love talking about this. I love sharing this education and this information. And yeah, hope everyone, please reach out to us if you have any additional questions. If you want to feel that if the product is right for you, you can also email us at hello@gladskin.com, or go to gladskin.com, and there's a chat feature on the bottom right, and we're there during business hours to answer any questions you may have about your condition and how we may be able to help.
Thank you. Yeah. And you can also give them a follow at gladskin.us on Instagram. I know they've been commenting as well. So you definitely want to go follow them as well, so you can get the latest and greatest updates from them. And for those of you who are entering to win today, we're going to post this video on the Instagram TV section of the Moms Meet Instagram page. Drop a comment and like it, and that'll be your way to enter to win. And yeah, this was a really wonderful conversation. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you again, Skylar, and we will see you again next time.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.